What's up, gamers? Welcome to episode 7 of the Busted Buttons podcast. This is Red, joined as always by Hick, and today we're going to be talking about the coronavirus and its impact on gaming. We're going to talk about how we're finally getting some new big game releases. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the information we got on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And in other big gaming news, Hick finally got himself a laptop for PC gaming, so we're going to talk about that. We might hit on a couple other miscellaneous topics too if we have enough time. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Hick. Where would you like to start us off today?
Well, first of all, everybody stay safe out there, stay isolated. Let's try to contain this whole coronavirus thing.
Absolutely.
Because this shit is absolutely nuts, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's just we've never experienced anything like this in our lives. So like I said, everybody stay safe, everybody stay healthy. We hope everything's working out for you. But
Absolutely.
one great thing, well, that's probably, all coronavirus is bad, but there's one good advantage of it. It does allow some more time from gaming at home. And so I've really been enjoying that. It's a good chance to work on our backlog some. I think for us gamers, it makes this isolation period a little bit easier because I don't think as gamers we really get bored because, like I said, of that backlog, we have so much we can play, we have so much we can do, there's always something there, so the isolation really doesn't bore me. Do you kind of feel the same way with gaming?
I really do, and I actually do feel bad. Well, of course, for anyone who's actually sick, but for people who are really the outdoors types, the people who love to go socialize, be in groups, whatever. Right now they've got to be struggling with being cooped up in the house. But yeah, for us gamers, man, we got a hobby that is tailor-made for a crisis like this, where yes, it still sucks everything that's going on in the world, but like you said, most gamers have 5, 6. Or 500 or 600 games in their backlog that they need to catch up on. So even people who are stuck in this shelter in place, which I'm thankful where we're living, we're not in that situation yet. Could happen soon. But, at least, like you said, even being able to work from home and things like that. And then just as soon as you're off the clock, man, you just fire up the video games. Yeah. And you've got something to keep you busy, and keep you distracted from all the bad news that is going on out there. And there's a lot of it right now.
Yeah, there is. There really is.
But I do think it's kind of funny, or not funny, but, they keep saying only essential businesses, essential things like that should be open. And one piece of news really jumped out to both of us.
Here we go, baby.
I know you're ready to lace into this. That is the fact that GameStop is really calling itself an essential fucking retailer in the middle of a damn global pandemic. I'm going to let you tear into this because I know you got thoughts.
Okay, first of all, nowadays, I don't get worked up on too much because, I just got a lot of things in my life that occupy my mind, mostly family and dealing with the kids and everything. Yep. So a lot of times, if I hear something, it might make me a little mad, but at the same time, I can kind of think about it. I'm like, okay, I can understand or see their point of view and see why they're doing this. I might not agree, I might not like it, but I really don't get mad. This GameStop shit is absolutely ridiculous. It is. To call yourself essential retail. No, you want to know what essential retail is? Obviously, toilet paper. That's essential.
The grocery store.
For kids, you got kids, you need wipes, you need diapers. If we run out of wipes, I might have to wipe my kid's ass literally with my hand and then wash it off. And you're sitting here talking about essentials. That's not essential retail, my ass, GameStop. This is ridiculous. There's no way that Reggie agreed to any of this crap. If he did, that he was a gangster behind the scenes at Nintendo the whole time. And I don't think GameStop's going to survive. I thought this before coronavirus. I thought eventually they would go downhill and it just wouldn't work out for them. Now, this crap, they're going under. Now, I don't know if it's going to be soon, but with this crap and calling yourself essential and saying that you're important, I won't take all the points, Red. You can take some of them, but this is stupid.
It is, and it's on the one hand, I'm happy for the employees who are still getting a paycheck.
True,
one of the active members on our Discord's a GameStop guy, and having the salaried and hourly people still in there getting a paycheck is a good thing. But you're putting these people at risk by putting them out there. By making them go work in the malls and everywhere that these GameStops are located and having strangers come in there. We were sitting here saying social distancing, and yet GameStop thinks they're so fucking essential that they're willing to put their workers at risk by all the people coming in to pick up games, especially right fucking now when a couple of big releases finally came out.
Yeah.
And the stores are going to be packed. And you fucking know that's the only goddamn reason that GameStop stayed open right now was to cash in on Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom coming out. That is the only reason they were staying open, because I think they could not have survived even a couple of weeks of shutting down with how desperate they are. So to lose a launch window like this for them would have been catastrophic. And you know it's a bald fucking cash grab. And like I said, I'm happy for the employees that are still getting paychecks. I know a lot of hourly people and a lot of salary people. Some salary people are not as fortunate. So I'm happy for the GameStop employees getting a paycheck, but it's not worth getting fucking sick to sit there and sell a damn video game. Oh,
man, I can tell you're mad because
I didn't realize I was going to be that worked.
I was going to say, I can tell you're mad because you've never used that many F-bombs. Okay, on podcasts, but rarely in life do you use that many F-bombs. So I know that you're worked up about it. But okay, we know why they're doing it. They can sit here and spin it whichever way they want to. First of all, when you say that you're selling essential products for work from home and e-learning, that is bullshit, because
Absolutely.
You're not supposed to be gaming while you're working. So and they're trying to spin it like keyboards, mice, mics, monitors. No, you don't need that shit to work. A laptop comes with a mic. It comes with a mouse, a keyboard. All that shit comes on the fucking laptop. It's all right there for you. So you don't need to sell any of it. So using that excuse that you help with work from home, blah, blah, blah. No, when you're gaming, you're not supposed to be gaming while you're working from home. And so, this is, it takes a lot to get us worked up nowadays, I think. We're pretty happy in life.
We are.
Yeah, we don't like things, but we don't really get too upset. And I think it just really rubbed us the wrong way, because yes, we know exactly what you're doing. You had big sales, you had 2 big releases today, and that's why you're staying open. Guaranteed they shut down next week. And you talk about, yes, the employees are getting money. That's great. But at the same time, they're getting put at risk, and it's not worth it now. Their age group for GameStop employees are not the age that's really dying from this virus.
Probably
here in the
not,
States
yeah.
at least. So, but you're still putting them at danger, and I guarantee that they would rather not have a paycheck than put their overall health at risk.
Agreed.
And so, and they're not the only business that's dealing with this. There's a lot of other businesses, and yes, they are struggling, but there's a lot of other businesses that are struggling, and they're closing their places down. So whatever, GameStop, I don't care. I don't agree with it. I'm never buying anything. I don't boycott places. If they have good stuff, I don't boycott, but I think I am going to boycott GameStop, and I'm not going to buy anything from them again.
Well, it's absolute bullshit. At the end of the day, and I gotta take a couple deep breaths, take a sip of my beer, and kind of calm down. But it is rare that we agree as much as we just did there, especially about something that gets us as worked up as we both did. But that just drives home just that corporate greed right there. You know it's a blind cash grab, and with how financially screwed they are right now anyway, any kind of closure, I think they would have seen the writing on the wall. So from a business standpoint, I get it, but from a human being standpoint, it's bullshit. Now that that's off our chest, we did mention that we are finally in a period of we've got some good, big new game releases here in the last couple of weeks. We got Ori and the Will of the Wisps that came out not too long ago. We got Animal Crossing New Horizons. We got Doom Eternal. It feels like after a long winter of not getting many new big game releases, we're finally getting there. And I cannot be more excited to finally have some new games. And even if I'm not going to play them right away, I love reading the discussion about them, the reviews, the people who are so excited about it. And just in the lead up to the releases of Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom Eternal, when people realized they were going to be released on the same day, I've absolutely loved seeing some of the crossover memes on the internet. And the way the two fan bases, which are seems as polar opposite as it gets. You've got the Nintendo Animal Crossing group, and you've got the people who've been playing Doom since the freaking 90s, a violent video game. And the two fan bases have meshed so well online. It blows my mind. I'm so happy to see that. Now, like I said, I probably am not grabbing either of them or Ori and the Will of the Wisps either right now, but I know you did actually pick up Animal Crossing, which I'm guessing was probably a drunk purchase knowing you, but have you had a chance to play it yet?
I wouldn't call it necessarily a drunk purchase. I like to classify it as a good buzz to get that courage to spend the money. That's because I don't really get drunk too much anymore because, like I said, with kids it makes your life hell. But if you get a couple beers, I get that courage in me. Yes, I can do this. I can spend $60 on this game. So it was a good buzzed purchase. But, on the podcast, I said I was going to buy it. So, got to put your money where your mouth is. I went out and bought it. And I've had a chance to play quite a bit recently. And I got to admit, okay, it's probably too early to give an overall judgment. This is my first Animal Crossing experience.
Yep.
So don't want to sit there and say, oh, this game is awesome, it's unbelievable, because I really haven't played it enough. But so far, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It's a very calm game. It's just very relaxed. You go to a deserted island in this new one, New Horizons. And just for the times right now and everything we're going through, yes, it's a video game. You're still in your house. You've not really gone anywhere. But it's just cool to go somewhere, even if it's only on a screen, just to have that chance to go somewhere else, even if it's just a game. And so far, I'm really liking it. It's addictive in a weird way. I'm sitting here pulling weeds out of the ground because you get money for it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the dumbest concept in the world. And while I'm thinking this in my mind, I am sitting here pulling weed after weed after weed, like I got a fucking addiction or something to pulling weeds, man.
I about spit out my beer there.
Yeah, so it's a strangely addictive game, and I don't know overall if I'm going to like the experience, but so far I am really enjoying the game. And it's kind of just cool, you just basically go around, grab resources, build a village. The whole game, I guess, from what I've observed so far, is just building a village, but it has that Nintendo charm. The art style looks beautiful. Yeah. It's not like a new game, graphic wise, but it doesn't have a retro look either. There's just a lot of things I think that they did right and that I'm enjoying so far.
As usual, Nintendo, we always say they may not put out the cutting edge photorealistic graphics, but their art styles they pick always fit the themes of their games so perfectly. We've always said that. And you hit on this really well. Everything I've read so far about the Animal Crossing is that it is the perfect game for right now. Because like you said, you can put a bunch of time into doing just these kind of mundane tasks that, let's be honest, people are having a hard time doing right now because they can't go out. They, it's just a relaxing getaway game is everything I've heard about it. And, right now when everyone is stressing, everyone's stuck at home, everyone's not sure, whether it's where their next paycheck's going to come from, if the grocery's going to be cleaned out, if this whole pandemic's going to get worse, something calm and relaxing on a brand new island does seem to me conceptually like exactly what people need right now. So I'm glad you're liking it. It's not a series.
I think you should get drunk tonight and buy is what I think. I think you ain't got nothing to do, man. You're at home in isolation. Your bar closed down. So what the hell are you going to do? Go get a growler from one of the breweries. Drink it a little bit faster than you normally would and get some of that courage in you, man. Some of that courage that, yes, Red, you can spend $60 and you can get this new game and you can escape this coronavirus and go somewhere else. I know you can do it. I believe in you, and I don't really have anything else than that. I believe in you. I just believe in you, and I think you can do it.
I'm still trying to recover when I got drunk several months ago, and I bought all the Game Awards winners, and then I randomly cleared out my Amazon wish list drunk one night. So I'm still working on my backlog a little bit. I got a long way to go before I get to these guys.
I'm gonna call you a pussy on the next podcast if you don't buy Animal Crossing.
I might. We'll see. We'll see if I might go insane with this isolation shit, so it might just happen. And let's be honest, I'm going to be drinking the entire time.
You need to play different games too in isolation.
Yeah, you gotta mix it up.
One thing, I'm playing Death Stranding right now, and that game. Okay, I guess we'll just go ahead and talk about that game a little bit. We gotta get a weekly update. Yeah, I don't know if it's weekly, but I just passed 100 hours now. It seems like the timing does count when you're paused, and the game is paused for me a lot, so I don't think I've actually played 100 hours, but it probably is pretty close to that. Man, and here's what I'm talking about. You need different games. Death Stranding, man, I don't know what the hell I think about this game, to be honest with you. I can't sit there and say it's bad. I can't sit there and say it's great. There's a lot of it, you're delivery boy, basically.
Yep.
But there's a lot of it that, the world is gigantic. It's probably the biggest game world I've ever played. The world is just absolutely beautiful. It does use that Horizon Zero Dawn engine, I believe, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so it looks very similar to that, obviously.
I think it's the Gorilla engine is what it's called, something like that. I could be wrong.
I have no idea. But
Either way.
here's like, okay, the game world is huge, and I actually like walking around in open world games. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but you get to see more and experience more of the game world. And here's one thing that I really don't like. Okay, first of all, the deliveries they get very tedious. Now, you don't have to do them. Like, you can just progress through the story. I think Spammo Man actually did that, where he didn't really do too much of the side deliveries. Standard orders is what they're called. He just kind of went through the game. And, the story, I really like the story. It's fucked up as hell, man. Like,
that's
I don't know
Kojima right there.
Like, my wife has asked me many times, like, what Death Stranding is about, and I can't give her a good answer because I don't really know what the hell the story's about, but I know it's fucking good, and I like it, and it has my attention. But kind of going back to the deliveries and the tediousness, if that's even a word, of the game, you don't have to do it, but there's just too many orders that you don't have to do. There's too many orders that you can do, and I'm at that point in my life, and here's where I struggle. I know I'm going on for a little while, but
it's
what?
okay. I'm letting you roll.
There was only two of us, and we got plenty of time.
Hey, this is your segment.
Yeah. I totally forgot what the hell I was talking about, man.
All the orders. I think you're about to talk about orders, how you only play a game like once.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know. But in my life where I'm at, I'm only going to play a game, especially a game like Death Stranding. I'm only going to play it once. Because I just have too much going on. I have too much of a backlog. So I want to experience the game the best I can. I'm not going to 100% it, but I want to get, somewhat close. And that's where I'm struggling right now. It's like, I don't want to fly through the game. I want to experience it. But these deliveries are getting a little tedious. So, I just don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. It's just like up in the middle. And here's one other thing that I absolutely hate. And this is the point that I was going to make. Like, because of the concept of the game and making deliveries, use a vehicle a lot. Use either a bike or a big truck because you can carry a lot of cargo and make big deliveries in it. And so you're driving around a lot the same ways, which removes that walking aspect. And so you don't experience the huge world like you normally would, or at least I normally would in an open world game. And that just drives me nuts. So that's my update on Death Stranding. Don't know where the hell I really feel about. I don't know how the hell I feel about it. The story's awesome. What's the story about? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure it out myself. So I don't know what to recommend when it comes to Death Stranding.
And it seems to be the general consensus on that game. I mean, just from the reviews, they're all over the place. And a lot of the points you hit on, like, the story's fucked up, but the world is beautiful. The mechanics are solid. It's just, it's a mixed bag. Either you kind of like that style or you don't. But
yeah, the mechanics are very good. I will admit that.
Yeah, but it is kind of funny though. Like you mentioned, you're all over the place on that one. I'm kind of circling back around to where we started with the releases that we've just got. Like, I am kind of shocked to see that all these recent releases have been just killing it on the reviews. Like, we've seen Animal Crossing, Doom, and Ori all sitting at like around a 90, and it's so rare you get that kind of critical consensus all on so many games at one time. And like Death Stranding, you said, is a perfect example. I mean, a lot of people gave it, 10 out of 10, 95 out of 100, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people were also like, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So to see 3 games come out very recently and so close together and all to be very universally beloved is kind of shocking. And it's been a while, I feel like, since we've seen something like that. But, it does make me excited because we got a few more big games coming out soon. And the longer this whole, pandemic coronavirus thing goes on, I think, we're about to get the Resident Evil 3 remake, which everyone loved. Resident Evil 2. Like, that was, nominated for a Game Award for the best game. So I know fans of the horror series and the Resident Evil series will be all over that one. The Final Fantasy VII remake is supposed to be coming out here in a couple weeks as well. And then about a month down the road, we got The Last of Us Part 2, which, of course, I know you and I are both going to be snatching that up as soon as it comes out.
That might be a game that we play right when it comes out.
Exactly. I don't need beer to have the courage to buy that. Plus, with a more cinematic and like story-based game like that, that's going to be a huge seller, I don't want to get spoiled on it. I want to play it like as spoiler-free as humanly possible.
Yep.
And as much as we're on gaming websites, social media, all that stuff now, it makes it very, hell, we're sitting here making a podcast about gaming. We can't avoid spoilers. But, that's one I want to jump into. And I know you're the same way. As soon as it comes out, and just get on top of it. So I'm, as much as a shitty time as we're in right now for like the real world, in terms of games, man, I am pretty stoked for what the next, month or two has to bring. And that's not even counting all the shit sitting in the
Yeah. And along with all those new games, we actually got a lot of information this week on the new consoles, which great timing, both PlayStation and Xbox on delivering that news. Like, everything pretty much shut down this week, and then bam, you come out with some more information. Sadly, I didn't really look in. Yeah, what's it say?
I said we needed that information.
Oh, definitely. Now, Sally, I didn't really look into it as much because I think me and you are really not spec guys. Like, for me, okay, both of these systems are going to be awesome. Yeah, I think Xbox has some more raw power. PS5 storage may be a little bit better. It might be a little bit shorter load times on PS5. But for me, unless I'm sitting there with both systems on two screens side by side, run the same game at the exact same point, I'm not going to notice the differences.
Oh, absolutely.
So for me, those specs are cool, and I know they mean a lot to some people, which is absolutely fine. I know some people get really into that. That's kind of, just a hobby and what they like to do.
Yep.
But for me, these are both going to be awesome. I don't really care about your specs too much. The games are going to look beautiful. They're going to run great. If there's a little loading time, I don't care. That's time for me to drink my beer. And so for me, it really just all comes down to the games. But what you kind of think about the whole news this week on the new consoles?
I mean, I'm just excited that we finally heard something about the PlayStation 5. I mean, I feel like the Xbox Series X has been kind of giving us a steady drip of information. They've talked about some of the features like the quick resume for multiple games. The kind that gives you the best version depending on what console you're playing on. I forget their technical name for
smart
it,
delivery system or something.
Yeah, but the PlayStation's been silent almost. So I'm just excited that they finally came out with something. And like you said, we are not experts in terms of specs. So when they start talking about teraflops and stuff like that, that shit kind of goes a little over my head. I think it's very important to developers, like the game developers, to know what they're working with. But for a fan like us, unless you've got both systems sitting right next to each other, I don't think you're going to tell a whole hell of a lot of difference either way. So I'm just excited that everything I've heard is that if they manage to cram all this crap into a $500 system, which is what I think we're all kind of expecting, $499 price point for both systems. It's like the amount of technology they're getting into these two systems for that price point, even if they're selling it a little bit of a loss, is pretty damn amazing. So that has me so excited. I think we're both in the same boat where eventually we will have both consoles. I mean, it's too much to drop it. I can't.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to buy both of them. Now that I bought this new computer, I'm not going to buy both of them at the same time.
You got to pay off that
choose one or the other.
Yeah, you got to pay off that credit card now.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think there's any way that these come in at $399. And
no.
Here's what I don't like gamers that are expecting these consoles to stay at $399. Think about how phones have gone up in price over the last decade.
Yep.
The technology is getting better. You're paying more for your phones. So why should consoles stay the same? Because they're putting more technology into them. And yeah, their costs might have gone down a little bit based on how they produce that technology. Yeah. But there's more technology in the systems, and they are in the end costing more to make than the older systems. I guess I'm really not inside with all that information. So
they have to.
Just people that think they're
what's in there.
Gaming consoles are not going to stay $399 for the rest of your lives. They are going to go up. I think it is going to be this next cycle. I think $499 is probably what we're going to see, because if you get up to $600, I mean that's a big purchase for us.
Yeah.
And so if you're really, really struggling, that might really hurt you right there.
For sure.
Kind of we talk about, the games and everything, that's what's going to come down to for me. But I think Xbox is kind of going on this whole, we're going to be better for third-party games, which obviously that makes up a lot of the market.
Yep.
But I still, I talked about that difference. I don't think I'm going to really see that difference or notice it. Yeah, Xbox, you might be a little bit better, but I'm not going to see it unless I see a screen side by side, once again, at the exact same point in the game. So for me, you got to have the exclusives. And but
absolutely.
Here's the thing that could really help out, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. Backwards compatibility. How do you, we kind of talked about this, but an overall, I guess comparing, who has more raw power, more storage, blah, blah, blah. How much do you think backwards compatibility, even though it doesn't mean a lot to us, how much it means for these systems, with gamers overall?
I think for gamers overall, it is important, because you think about the amount of money you spend on your library of games for every single console. And like I said, I know we're kind of in a place where we play a game once, we move on. I mean, that's just the reality of life at this point for both of us. I mean, as we get a little bit older, but for a lot of people, being able to go back and play some of those treasured games that haven't been remastered for the more current consoles, it seems like a big deal. And I remember, I think it was the PS3 that the original iteration was backwards compatible, but like a little bit into the life cycle, they took away that capability from people buying new ones. Like if you already bought one, you were good, but like as they made, you know, the next model of the PS3, whatever little improvements they made, you lost the backwards compatibility, and that pissed off a lot of gamers. Now, it may have been a situation where it was a small but very vocal minority, which I feel like angry people on the internet, that's usually the case.
Yeah.
But still, it seems like the whole backwards compatibility thing is important. And I know just talking to people on our Discord server, people seem to really appreciate being able to go back and play older games. So for the Xbox to come right out and say, yes, you can play Xbox One, Xbox 360, original Xbox games on this system. So you're talking 4 generations of games on the system. That's pretty incredible. And the PS5 has only come out so far and said, we can go back to most PS4 games, but that's it. Now, I'm hoping that they update that because, like you said, the backwards compatibility is not the end of the world for us. We don't really go back and play a lot of older games. It's very few that I will go back and replay. And if I'm going back and replaying a game, let's be honest, it's like a Super Nintendo game.
And that's actually what I want to bring up. Like, okay, there's a lot of people bitching about it, but how many people are actually going to go back and play those games? Like they sit here, they say they're going to play those games, but every fucking gamer has a backlog. Yeah. So they're bitching about it, but I don't think they're going to go back and play those games. Now, there will be some here and there, but you're not going back and playing a shitty-ass graphic PS2 game when you got a PS5. And so I think the whole backwards compatibility thing, I think it's honestly just something to bitch about. That's all I think. You know.
So are these specs. All these specs that came out, let's be honest. Like, people love, they get in their camps and they love to argue back and forth. I mean, and I'm guilty of that. I'm the same way. Like, I used to be a diehard Xbox guy. Like, Halo turned me into an Xbox guy. Yeah. But, you know, then I totally sat out the PS3 generation. And then, well, part of that was the price was bad and everything else. But, you know, and then the PS4's turned me around, though. Like, now I'm just like, where can I play my good games? You know, so people love to have something to debate, though, and something to argue. And right now, kind of all we have are specs and some of these extra features. Until they give us the release dates, price point, and more launch titles, that's all we have to bitch about.
And when it comes to the release date, I mean, you got to think about this whole coronavirus thing. Like, you know, how's that going to push it back? I'm not sure. I don't believe they said anything about stopping production. I don't know if they would actually even say that.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure
I think there's a good chance. See, here's the whole thing. Like, I do think they're going to release around holiday 2020. So I know they want to stick to that. But with this whole coronavirus thing going on and how long it lasts, like, they could definitely push back the release dates for these. So, I mean, do you think that's going to happen or just not going to happen? And how do you think that's going to kind of affect everything?
Well, I know just recently during one of their presentations, Microsoft said they're still shooting for Thanksgiving time for this year. So they seem to still be confident that they can get it done. I think the PlayStation, when they did their spec reveal, also said they're still shooting for holiday. So I know holiday is kind of a big window. It could be anywhere from like October to the end of the year, basically. Yeah. My dream, and I don't think there's any chance in hell this happens. Let's say they are $499, $500, let's just say. Drop them on Black Friday for $399 just to juice sales.
Oh man.
And then after Cyber Monday, the whole big Amazon whatever, then on that Tuesday after Black Friday, it goes back up to its actual price. Could you imagine the opening weekend sales if they dropped them on Black Friday?
Yeah, but you got to think about the crowds, though. You got to think about the crowds in the stores and everything. Like, a lot of people don't like going out for Black Friday because it's so chaotic.
Oh, that's what Cyber Monday's for.
Well, yeah, but okay, if a system releases on Black Friday, are you going to wait till Cyber Monday and then have 2 days for Amazon Prime to deliver it? So it comes out on Friday, and you're sitting here saying that you're going to wait until Wednesday to get it. I'm not waiting. I'm going to go to the store, but you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't like going on Black Friday, but if you released a system on Black Friday, my ass would be there and I would get it.
Oh, I'm telling my family to go fuck off on Thanksgiving. I'm going to be in line. I'm going to be in line at GameStop. Boom.
So all the news about these upcoming consoles is very exciting, but what's also very exciting is I just got involved with something new, and that new thing is PC gaming. Very excited about that. I just got a laptop recently. Now, it's not the best gaming laptop. I actually don't even think it's considered a gaming laptop, but trust me, folks, to do all this crap, all this content that we do have to have like a very powerful computers, and so my computer does have the specs to do PC gaming, so I am going to get involved in it. And if I do like it a lot, then down the road in the future, I might do the whole build your gaming rig or whatever. But I kind of thought this laptop would be a really good place to start. So Red, I kind of want to thank you for just kind of introducing me to the whole PC gaming.
Hell
we were
yeah.
kind of talking last night, like, how's this whole thing work? Do you download games on your desktop or are they on the cloud? Actually, I need to look into see if it works on the cloud somehow. I'll put that in my notes. But just kind of, I don't know exactly where I want to go with that. Like, I was just very excited, and kind of this new route, this new community, this new way of doing gaming. It's just really exciting.
Well, I'll be you could probably tell when we were texting back and forth when you were getting set up. I'm excited for you to join.
Yeah, because you were actually responding in a decent manner.
What's that?
I said you were actually responding to my text in a decent time.
For once.
So I can tell you were excited, but go ahead.
That's how you know I'm excited. But yeah, no, I've been a big fan of PC gaming for a while. And part of it, like you kind of mentioned, is the building your own computer aspect. Like, again, we're not great with specs and things like that, but I like doing the research that comes with building your own rig. So I think this is a really great entry point for you to get into PC gaming. And I loved it so much that I did not get an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 for several years when they both released, because I was very happy with my computer for gaming. So, man, just talking last night about, Steam and the Epic Game Store and, just the sales that you get and the kind of games that I think really are better on the PC. Like, I was stoked to have that conversation with you because it's not something in all these years we've talked gaming. PC gaming is something we've talked very little about.
And the thing is, I do want to talk about it, but let me go ahead and talk about my setup. Now, I know this doesn't matter for the podcast a lot, but you know what? It's exciting to me, and I like talking about it. But, I got a new laptop, like I said, 4K, 16 gigabyte RAM, Intel Core i7, 10th generation. Don't know what the hell that really means. I mean, I obviously know it's 10th generation, but I don't know exactly what generation we're on. I got a 512 gigabyte solid state drive with 32 gigabyte Optane. I think that's like supposed to do shit faster. I really don't know.
It might be like for like your operating system and shit, just getting that stuff up and running.
I think it has a lot to do with like booting up your system and booting up programs. And then I got the Nvidia GeForce MX250 graphics card. I kind of know PC gamers seem like they do like to talk about specs a little bit more. So I kind of want to throw those out there. Like I said, it's not going to be the best gaming computer, but it's going to whet my appetite. It's going to like show me what the possibilities are. And like I said, down the road, I might build a better one, but then my setup, like I got a good setup too. Like I have two 28-inch 4K monitors. Now, actually, can you play on both monitors or I'll have to look into that. Like if you can actually spread. Okay, now that'd be awesome if I could spread it across both screens. Okay.
Most games support like an ultra wide screen.
Ooh.
So you just gotta fuck around with the settings. And,
oh man, that gets me all horny right there. I really like that. But
I just imagine you're porn on both screens if you want to get horny.
Yeah. But I have a keyboard, I have a mouse, just a regular mouse and keyboard, nothing special. But like the whole setup is there. And I'm really kind of upset that I haven't gone into it earlier, but I don't think I really understood PC gaming that much, like how it worked, obviously, as I'm asking you all these questions last night. Yep. But I was shocked to see how many games are actually on PC. And like you said, the Steam sales, I mean, they have a Ubisoft sale right now that is absolutely ridiculous. And I ended up buying Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, wasn't a big fan of the whole mechanic of how like it's a simulator or somebody in the future is doing a simulation. I don't know if Odyssey does that or not, but the game looks beautiful. I've heard a lot about it. I don't know if it's like the best game for me to PC on. Like you talk a lot about first-person shooters and kind of real-time strategy games being the ones that you like the most. So don't know if Odyssey is a great choice, but I was also not going to go out and spend $60 on my first game, just like I'm not going to build a huge expensive gaming computer. So Ubisoft sale, Odyssey was under $20, so I went ahead and snatched that one up. at least with the graphics and like all that, we should be able to see I should be able to see the possibilities that PC gaming can give me. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully I like that game, but I'm excited. I'm just, like I said, I'm excited 20 times, but I really am just thrilled and excited to get into this new adventure.
Well, and the biggest thing for me with the PC gaming that really got me into it, even more than like, yes, the mouse and keyboard, I think are much better for first-person shooters. I think they're better for the strategy games, like you talked about. Bethesda games, like your Elder Scrolls, your Fallouts, those kind of games are like tailor-made because they give people the tools to like really get under the hood of the game. So, but even more than that, what got me excited about PC gaming really was the Steam sales. Like Nintendo, of course, is notorious for games never going on sale. Even some of the Sony and Microsoft, Xbox and PlayStation exclusives, you get sales here and there, but Steam at least 4 or 5 times a year runs massive, like week-long sales where almost every single game on the platform is discounted. Even new releases that maybe only came out a week or two ago will at least be like 20% off. And yeah, that's not a lot, but it's something. And now, like, especially if a game is 6 months old or something, you can get it for 75% off sometimes. So that is what really suckered me in to the Steam ecosystem. And I've also used like Epic Game Store is a new one that's gained a lot of popularity recently. So I use it as well. There are a few games that are only on it and not on Steam. Like I know Outer Worlds is one that you and I talked about. Yeah. I think Control is another popular one that you and I talked about. But like, I'm excited for you to get involved because part of the appeal of the PC gaming is digging into the specs and the hardware that's in your computer. Like that's kind of such an enthusiast hobby. But man, I will say up until this most recent generation, like the only way you could get 4K gaming was on a PC. Yeah. And now like there's still so many more graphical options and the tweaking you can do in the settings on most PC games to kind of get the most performance versus, frame rate and things like that versus graphics. It's like there's a lot more that you can do, I feel like, to really maximize your computer. So I'm excited for you to get into it. Don't be surprised if your Steam library quickly adds up with, because these sales, they have sales weekly. Man, it is insane. And most third-party games, as long as it's not an exclusive, usually it comes to PC. So it was my go-to for a long time. Like I said, until the 4K gaming came to consoles, at least. Like I was like, if I want the best graphics, I mean, you're still going to get that from a computer if you're willing to put the money into it. So I'm excited you got into it. I had a lot of fun talking with you about it, just kind of get you up to speed on the shops and how it all works. So I'm glad you're excited for it too. So I'm just, it's gives us one more topic.
We're both excited. Well, I mean, you talk about those sales, man, and there's a very, very short period of my life where I was like, you know what? Because I got an Xbox One, bought a lot of games on sale, and then I never got around to playing them. So when I got my PlayStation, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy games on sale because it just builds a backlog. If I want a game, I'll pay full price for it, but I only want to get the games I'm going to play. It didn't last. It lasted for like a little while, but it didn't last. And looking at Steam last night, I'm like, I think Far Cry 5, like I don't really have a lot of enthusiasm or excitement to play Far Cry 5, but it was $15 too.
You can't say no.
Damn, I didn't buy it, but I'm like, man, that's a really good deal. So there's just some crazy, like I said, sales that we'll see how my backlog gets. We'll see how it all goes. But kind of talking about one of my specs being the Nvidia, let's talk about a little bit about this. There might be a lot of people that actually don't know what this is, but Nvidia actually has like their own streaming service called, I think it's GeForce Now, isn't it?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, where you kind of like, and people, the whole Google thing's not really working out. I've not even looked into Google Stadia that much lately because I just don't care. It's going to die. Just let it die. Get it out of here. But Nvidia, like, I don't know exactly how well their system's working. I've not looked into it a lot. I know it's doing better than Google Stadia, but I think if somebody does do the streaming service and does it right, I think Nvidia's got a good chance because it's focused, I believe, only on the PC market, so they're very not narrow, but they're very they're staying in their lane. They're staying in their lane, and like hopefully they can make it work out with this whole streaming service.
I mean, we'll see. It from everything I've read, I have not tried it out yet, but from what I've read, like it works well for what it does. Yeah, I mean, it's basically you just download a client and you search for a game you want to play, and it will if you own that game, it'll launch it from, let's say, whether it's Steam or the Epic Game Store, or there's Origin is out there. There's a lot of stores out there. So if you own it, it'll launch it from one of those services, and you could play it on a crappy old laptop, because again, as long as you got a great internet connection, it's that cloud computing. And it's, again, a great concept. One of the things I think that is not necessarily holding it back, but it holds it back a little bit, but it also helps it stay stable, is they do cap it at 1080p right now, which I know 4K gaming is the big thing in like.
Yeah, but when you're doing this whole streaming thing, like 4K is very difficult to do.
It is. That's so data intensive too for people who have like data caps and things like that. So, but I think by capping it at that though, your performance is probably going to be better, because it's not trying to get to 4K. It's say, hey, if we can hit 1080p at a decent frame rate, we're good to go. So one of my biggest concerns about NVIDIA's GeForce Now is that apparently they were in beta for a long time.
Yeah.
People were trying it out, and all these game companies were like, yeah, we'll put our games on your system during the beta. And apparently when the GeForce Now came out of beta and went to its like full commercial availability, a lot of these game companies were like, whoa, I thought we were going to work out some
details.
Some details on the money.
Sneaky.
Yeah. So when Nvidia GeForce said we're going out of beta into our regular, hey, it's a commercial product now.
Yeah.
A lot of these game companies are like, whoa, where's our cut? You're streaming our games.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if people have already bought them, you're still streaming them through GeForce's service, GeForce Now. Mm-hmm. So Nvidia, pay us a cut. So all these all these developers, Capcom, Rockstar, Square Enix, 2K Games, Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, these are giant game companies. And they're like, no. You're not getting to stream our games for free. We're getting a cut of that money. So again, even though the consumer still pays for the game up front, it's like these companies still want, hey, you're giving these people another way to play their game, maybe on their piece of crap old computer or whatever, or even on mobile, I believe, in some cases. And it's like, no, you got to pay us. So I'm a little worried that NVIDIA may have really kind of jumped the gun and not gotten all the business side worked out.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So I'm hoping over time they'll reach agreements with all these companies. You'll get those games back on the service, because as much as we've bashed on Google Stadia, as much as I don't think we're there in terms of streaming games, like I said, on a crappy computer or a mobile device, the potential is still very exciting. Like, I'm still excited for the potential of it. So I'm hoping NVIDIA can work things out with these big with these big developers, and then the GeForce Now can really have a robust collection of games. Because now if you try to search for one of these games and launch it, even if you already own it, it will say, no, you can't stream this through GeForce Now. I mean, they just totally pulled them. So
I kind of just wanted, I get into the whole PC gaming. I kind of just wanted to talk and speak on it just for a little while. But it is getting to be that time again. Very fun episode today, as we kind of went in.
Yeah,
we kind of went in on some things, and we had some fun. GameStop, I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry. You're a dick. You're a dick right now. But let's go ahead and wrap up. We will include the links for all these things that we are about to say. But you can support us on Patreon. That's a monthly thing, or PayPal, which is a one-time thing if you want to. Always think about leaving. If you can't do it, support us financially, which is absolutely okay. Always think about leaving a review and a rating. That really helps us out. If you want to go to our websites, both Two Guys Playing Zelda and TGPC Gaming, we have merchandise, video game merchandise, and Zelda merchandise that we may earn a commission on if you buy through our links. Ready to kind of talk about the rest of it?
Yep. We're also all over social media. We've got 2 different Facebook groups going right now. One is Zelda Realm, of course, where we stick to Zelda content. The other one is Gaming Realm, where we talk all kinds of general gaming talk. We have a YouTube channel out there. We've got a Discord server. And of course, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that social media stuff. So kind of like we said at the very beginning of this, I hope everyone stays safe. I hope everyone stays healthy. Listen to your local people who are telling you, social distancing, wash your hands, all that stuff. And hopefully we're able to provide, an hour of entertainment here while you're stuck sitting at home.
45 minutes, but close enough to an hour.
Close enough. So stay safe, everybody.